What is the formula for Rolling Stone success?
There's no formula.
Not the ones
There's
to
no
ask.
formula.
There's no.
Welcome Mick and Keith to Rockers 80. What is the formula for Rolling Stone success?
There's no formula.
Not the ones
There's
to
no
ask.
formula.
There's no formula.
Just manifestation of some higher spiritual words.
Well, positive vibration.
Positive vibrations.
On and off, you know, we lost contact for a long time because he later went to a different school, and I didn't see him for years.
The London
years.
School of Economics, right?
Before that, we got separated, and then we came back, and then we met up when we were 17 about that.
And we were both carrying virtually the same records, carried albums around all the time. Oh.
How come you went to the London School of Economics? Did you want to be a businessman instead of rock and roll?
No, I was supposed to go in the Foreign Office.
The Foreign Office?
Colonial Office.
Yeah, I could just see Mick in the Foreign Office, right? Yeah.
It's a twist of fate.
Right. Approximately how many albums have the Rolling Stone done so far?
Oh, God.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
You don't know?
Yeah, I know how many bootlegs there are.
Right, yeah.
There's
right.
110
Uh-huh.
bootlegs. Well, I haven't got them all.
Oh, Some Girls were your most successful album in terms of sales.
Recently,
Sales
yeah, I would
was.
say it was, yeah.
Right. There are several tracks on that album that I like, but as I told Mick in a previous conversation, that my favorite on the album is Faraway Eyes.
This is what we always heard. A lot of Jamaicans really like country music, you know, the melodies. 'Cause
Really?
It's sweet, you know, and Jamaicans always say to me, in America, yeah, they've got the soul and the funk, but we've got sweet music.
See it. Speaking about Jamaica, how early or when did you first went to Jamaica?
First went there 67.
67. And you, Mick?
I can't remember, but it was quite a lot earlier than that. I think it was just after independence.
After Jamaica received independence.
Yeah, just after that, 64.
It's around 64, 63, I think, to be exact. Yeah.
And then I lived there for 2 years, almost non-stop.
Really?
72 to 74.
I guess everyone knows that Peter Tosh, one of the premier acts in reggae music, beside Bob Marley, that he signed to Rolling Stone Records. When did you get conscious of Peter, and did you come interested in saying you want to associate with him to really sign him to your label?
Well, conscious of him as apart from the Wailers, Equal Rights, Get Up, Stand Up.
Apart from the Wailers, I mean, you know.
Yeah,
I mean, you know what I mean? I never met Peter Tosh early on. I did meet Bob Marley, though. I mean, that was when they were all together, you know.
Right.
And then after that, when Peter went on his own, I heard that the albums, especially the Monkeys,
Equal Rights.
Yeah, Equal Rights.
Which was in Colombia, right?
Yeah, and then he was dissatisfied with Colombia, and then I don't know how it managed. It wasn't really through. I mean, we weren't really the main things. I don't think Peter was either, but we just both found ourselves. I found myself in Jamaica at the Peace concert.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing you at the Peace concert, laying on the grass and enjoying the music.
Yeah. There was no seats left.
There were no seats left. Yeah, I remember seeing you there, and you were really seemed to be having a good time.
Yeah, it was. It was good.
What'd you go to a peace conference for?
Right, but to have a good time, right? Yeah. And how do you see reggae music evoluting on, or seeing it, say, the music of the 80s, or we are entering into a new decade? What do you see in store for reggae music? Or would you like to make a statement to that?
Well, you know,
slow.
A lot of people
absorption.
Yeah, a lot of people have, you know, want a specific kind of music to be like big music and all that.
They want the next big thing, and if they can make reggae the next new big thing, which they've been trying to do for years, they can maybe do it.
They try, but I don't think that's the way. That's not the way things happen.
Because reggae music works from the roots, like we said, where there's a lot of Jamaican people. You're gonna reggae music is going to be there and be heard by other people, and they're it's going to grab them not from like here,
a con.
but here,
From the roots.
you know,
Seeing,
from the ground up.
seeing.
The other thing is that the other part of reggae music is evolving or evoluting, as you say, right?
Right.
Is like practicing it in England and maybe later on in America, when you get like white kids who are brought up on reggae music.
Right.
You know, a bit like, so you could say the Police as an example,
Right.
which we mentioned. But that could happen in America, whereas you get, instead of it being music from Jamaica, it's still essentially the same music, but it's actually made here or made in England and all that, and so it becomes like more universal.
Exactly.
You know, but it's
Exactly.
not alien music coming from somewhere
Exactly.
exotic
And
or whatever. I think, you know.
that comes to do, I think.
You don't restrict it in one
No.
ethnical breakdown.
No,
Right.
not
right.
ethnic or territorial either.
Exactly.
I mean,
I mean, I don't know, you may disagree, or maybe Peter might disagree with me.
No,
I
it's
think
just
Peter would agree with you
happens.
because I think Peter wanted to see the music
But I'm
grow
trying
as
to
much
say
as you.
something. I'm trying to break it. Jamaicans are amazingly moving out of Jamaica. You know, the more, I mean, they're huge Jamaican population in England, in New York, Boston, Toronto. You know, they're in a lot of places. They're one of these people that want to
Wandering, I mean.
you know, move out for various reasons,
Right.
money usually.
Right.
You know, let's say, but I mean, they are people like the Vikings, you know, always moving,
Seeing.
and they stay there, and their influence slowly becomes part of that country where they are, and that's why reggae be around for a long time, and its influence will be felt in other people's music,
Right.
you know, because it's not just coming down on them from the top. Tin Pan Alley, it's you know, it exists as part of life.
Seeing. It's a lifestyle music.
Yes.
Yeah,
Seeing.
way of walking.
How did you happen to do a track with Peter? Whose idea was that for you and Peter to get
Peter's.
together? Peter's. I think it was a marvelous combination. You know, I really
It was
liked that
hard
particular
for
track.
nobody really knowing the song, but wanted to do it.
Oh, Peter knew this song though, because Peter already cut that song apparently in Jamaica. It was
The rhythm track was laid in Jamaica.
no, he cut it in the early '60s.
Before a long
Yeah,
time.
whenever the Temptations came out with it,
Uh-huh.
he did it already once. I don't think it was ever released except in Jamaica.
Right.
And when
See.
Peter was a scar man, you know. You seen those pictures of him in that black suit they publish all around England?
Yeah, with his
Yeah,
glasses.
and the
Right?
tie.
Yeah. See it. Speaking about Peter, Peter used to sing with a man by the name of Bob Marley.
Yeah.
How do you like Bob Marley's music?
I like it very much. I mean, I like his songs. I think they're really. He's had some really good songs, Bob Marley, which is like basically the reason for a lot of the success he's had. Apart from he's been pushed very hard
Yeah.
by
Like
critics, like
he's-
really mad. But he has had some good songs.
He's put up as reggae music, Mr.
Yeah,
reggae
right, Mr.
music,
Reggae.
when there's lots of other different types of reggae music. Bob's good. There's a lot of others just as good. It just so happens that Bob's out in front with the image and that, which I would just.
Well, someone had to do that though.
Someone has to set like the
Yeah, someone has to do
right?
that, and of course you come in for a lot of criticism like that, doing that. You know,
Man always will.
you know, being talking about compromise and that kind of stuff.
Right.
People will
Record
say,
company
you know,
pressure.
and you
Right.
do have to
Put out
compromise.
more than you.
You have to.
got.
That's a very good point.
You do have to well, it depends what you want. You see, I'm not saying that Bob Myers compromised his music or anything, but you'd have to compromise your personal way of living a bit. You know, you can't put yourself up to be this kind of you know, touring America constantly and all that kind of thing, and not expect to be exactly the same person
Exactly.
that you were when you were living in, you know,
Spanish
Right.
Spanish
The
town.
Trench Town.
Town or whatever town you're from.
Peter's from Spanish
Right.
town. Not that different the way we record and the way Peter records, but we record a lot different to like most rock groups, you see. They come in and watch us record and can't believe it, you know, because I don't know how they record, so I don't watch them, but they obviously do it a lot different ways, you know. I mean, we record
we
it
don't
a lot
record in
like
one
Peter.
way either, actually.
You just go by
But we put
inspiration.
the band in the
Right.
studio and we record,
Uh-huh.
you know,
Yeah.
and then whatever flows from
Seeing
that.
the vibration,
You know.
seeing.
And that's why I like to watch Peter record.
Well, that's
because
the
it's
that's
kind of the same way. Yeah.
That's definitely
There's technical
definitely
differences
exactly.
and
Oh, some
things
people
in-
in reggae, I've seen people in reggae record, like in blues, I was amazed when I saw people like doing overdubs, vocal overdubs, just doing one line.
Mhm,
You know,
mhm.
some people really do that. I mean, people basically spend a lot of overdubbing in reggae.
Right, exactly.
And there's a lot in the mixing of reggae which is different
Right.
than what we
Reggae.
would do.
Mhm.
Reggae is born in the studio.
Yeah, it's
first,
studio
first music to be born in the recording studio.
Very significant point.
Even our music is originally live music,
Mhm.
adapted to the studio.
Yeah,
Same,
which is
same.
we had a lot of trouble adapting it. Actually.
Yeah,
Really?
And yeah, everybody,
Mhm.
because it was a live music, and then you got that down on stage live. Then you got to record it totally different,
Mhm.
kettle of fish, as they say.
Same.
But reggae, it was made in the
studio.
studio. It came out of the studio.
Uh-huh.
And actually, they couldn't always play it live because you have to have a special good mixer to mix it out live to make it sound like that.
What's some of the blues singers from, say, America that you enjoy listening to, or you have like a certain amount of respect for?
Well, the old ones were like, we was playing the other night, Robert Johnson,
Right.
and then Muddy Waters.
Mhm. We said Muddy Waters learned from Robert Johnson.
A lot,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even the same songs and the same lyrics.
He had been around the same area when Johnson was playing, so
Mhm.
a lot of the stuff he picked up was from the same.
He wasn't much younger than Robert Johnson, I don't think.
No, if Johnson was still alive, he'd be about the same.
But Johnson
age.
died at a very early age, right?
Yeah.
To 21.
Really?
Mm.
That
Some
track was
shit poisoned him.
really.
Yeah, he was poisoned by a
Cooke,
woman.
right? Some girls, right? How do you like Jimi Hendrix music? Or what do you think of Jimi Hendrix?
We're sitting in his bedroom.
Right.
I like it very much. I like, really do. I think Jimi was very talented.
Really?
He was trying for a sort of fusion,
Exactly.
kind of music. He was very.
Because sometimes when I listen to some
Compromise.
Jimi Hendrix, I hear like certain reggae rhythm riffs in his guitar style.
Yeah, because really he came from the old R&B school.
Yeah, he played with Little Richard on stage.
And in those days, listen to Fats Domino. A lot of almost reggae beats are in there.
Yeah.
You know, all that went out with white rock and roll bands with electric basses and changed the whole thing to like a different feel. You know, but as before when American and rock and roll and R&B used the shuffle beat, 4/4 beat, a lot of it lends itself to that on beat, which is the reggae beat. Yeah.
Another interesting question that I think a lot of people is probably wondering about. There have been several other rock and roll groups or several groups in general, musical groups that has come together and were successful to a certain degree and branched out or break up, and like Rolling Stone just keep on rolling. It comes back to me asking like, what is the secret formula? But I guess we won't ask the secret formula again. Right?
Best of knows.
Right. You think so far in your career, what has been the highlights of your career, right? Up to date, as we are sitting here now, what has been the highlights of your
Toronto, Marlborough Street, Court.
I don't have any. They just all fade one into another,
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yes.
it sounds like we should have a really good answer for those kind of questions.
The stock answer is when satisfaction.
Yeah,
But
right.
really, we were so busy on the road that it was like it didn't. It's something you read back on later and say, oh yeah, that was obviously a highlight. But at the time, you don't realise it. You're
Right.
just doing what you're doing.
Just doing what you're doing best. See,
Yeah, hopefully.
right.
Let me find out something else.
See, well, when do you expect to when do you expect to release the new album?
Should be in January.
In January. So you probably be doing you're not going to do a winter tour. No, you're not going to. Stones are not
What do
going
you
to do a
mean?
winter
What do
tour.
you mean? You think it's too cold?
You come like Peter, right?
Australia, it's summer.
Yeah.
Right. So you probably are going to take it out of the United States and probably tour the rest
I
of
don't
the
know.
world.
Yeah, maybe.
To start with and come
So we
back.
say that for our fur coats, and then the winter will be over.
See it.
It's a matter of wardrobe. Yeah.
Right. See it. Okay, mate. I know, it's been, I don't want to keep you for too long. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but we really appreciate you making this presentation on Rockers 80, and I want to wish you the best of everything from a genuine standpoint. And like, I personally appreciate what both of you are doing for reggae music.
We're all doing the same.
Yeah?
We're all doing the same.
Same.
We're doing it as much as we're doing.
And I want them to keep on giving us the good music that them is giving us.
Okay.
Yeah. Sid?
Yeah.
And I'm wishing you a lot of success in everything that you choose to do.
Thank you.
Sid?
Right. Thank you very much.
Mick Jagger and Keith Richards and Rockers 80. Right.
It depends. I'll tell you something though, that like in countries like say France, where we've been for a long time, right? Now, if like 2 years ago, it may seem nothing, but 2 years ago, you wouldn't hear reggae on the radio. They only have, like England, they have like 3 or 4 radio stations, less than England, right? And they're all owned by the state. Right? But now, this year we just come back, they play reggae. Not only that, they record it in French, with a band. Well, you know that because Sly and
Robbie
and
played an album.
Played an album all in French.
Yeah, it was #1 in France for a long time.
See, that shows that like okay, you don't hear it perhaps as much in New York as you want, but in New York you're bombarded with all these stations, right? But imagine in France you've got these ridiculous French reggae. I mean, what can you say?